is your name?
My name is Sheree Howard.
And what year were you born?
1973, which makes me 38.
Great. And where are you from originally?
I'm from Portsmouth. I grew up in West Portsmouth, Ohio, down in the Friendship area.
And what's something you really enjoyed about growing up here?
I think the Shawnee Forest is probably my best memory because my family would take us there on hikes and in different little adventures on the weekends, and you'd just find all kinds of different wildlife out there and just different trails that you could walk through, and just a lot of good family memories in the Shawnee Forest area.
That's great. And we asked you to come in and speak a little bit about your experiences with the 9/11 tragedy. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. In 2001, I was teaching at Bright Elementary in Hillsboro, Ohio. I was teaching 6th grade, and during that time, or that day, I should say, I was walking to go get my kids at lunch, and I had two co-teachers, and my friend Marla, who was one of my co-teachers, said, "Planes have hit the Twin Towers." And I remember feeling just disbelief. And of course, then everything started with the media and such, and we had to go back and tell our children what had happened. So we gathered all of our children together, and of course I was freaking out because my own children were home with my grandparents, and at that time Jillian, I think she was 4 and Kyle was 3, and I think at that time I was freaking out because I couldn't get to them, and then I was freaking out to have to tell 70 children that we had been attacked. I think the hardest thing was, I remember one little boy named Clayton said to me, "Are they going to come and get us? Are they going to kill us?" And trying to talk to a child and say, "Look, our armed forces, they're going to protect us, and don't be so worried," and they're terrified, and you see the terror in their eyes. And I felt that terror too, but to have to explain to a child that we would try to keep them as safe as we possibly could, and that is the most terrifying memory for me. And then just to turn on the TV and our children having to see people jumping from those buildings, and then when they did fall down, and just the utter chaos that happened after that, it was the most horrific experience I've ever had to experience in my life. So that's what I was doing that day.
Mm-hmm. How has that event changed your life or your view on the world?
Well, one of the things that's changed is I have never flown since then. Before that, I was in the Navy. I flew all over the United States, with different duty stations and stuff, but I cannot bring myself to get on a plane or let my children, even to this day. And I know they've taken great measures in all the airports and stuff, but even to this day, I can't allow myself to get on a plane or to let my children. I find it kind of sad because during 9/11, the world seemed, or at least the United States, seemed to come together, and everybody was more patriotic and more, understanding of their fellow humans, fellow man. And now it seems like, everything's pulled back apart to where this one's arguing with that one, and things don't seem as important as they did during that time frame. And I mean, it lasted probably a good year after 9/11 that people really banded together, but nowadays I just don't see that anymore, and it's shameful that it took that kind of a tragedy to bring everybody together, and then the world's now pushed back into that kind of I don't know, just kind of where they're not being as one. So those are the two things that would probably have affected me the most, is just seeing that deterioration of people not being good to each other again, and not standing by each other and our leaders, whether they're good or bad. So that would be my two biggest things that's changed.